So this is the first frame of the next episode. They got our boy sweating. They got intense. He's not having a good time. So how do I think he's going to get out of this? I don't think the Cowboy's going to come. This is his story. It's his light novel. He's going to have to save himself. I think he's going to have to figure out a way to... It's going to have to be magic related. It has to be Jitsu related, right? He's going to have to figure out a way... Also strategy. The man can think tactically and strategically. He's going to probably have to... They're probably going to imprison him somewhere. And start using the tactics. We saw the tactics being used on Sai at the beginning of this series. This arc, right? The second episode of this arc, I think it was. You know. And I think... They're going to put him in that situation. He's somehow going to be able to strike back. Turn one of the other people, one of the minions. Maybe control one of the minions. Something. He's going to use his intellect and then his jitsu. That's how he's going to have to get out of this. It ain't going to be here in this market square. He's surrounded. There's a bunch of people watching. There's nothing he can do. They'll take him to a back room. They'll start trying to turn him, talk to him, use their power on him. And he's going to fight back. He's going to turn it against him. That's my best guess. Because otherwise, man, he is so screwed. Let's go and get into it. We are going on one. 3, 2, 1. Oh, yeah. Yeah. I knew you were evil. That's the part I don't understand. What the hell did that mean? Maybe he's already going to try to get out of this. Maybe I didn't think about that. Maybe some kind of self-hypnosis thing? Firestarter's been out for 40 years, probably. Something like that. So I think I can spoil a very minor plot point. In Firestarter, one of the two protagonists had the ability to push people. He could mentally control people. It was very mild. He couldn't be like, walk into a diner and demand food and stuff like that and walk out there with people's wallets. But he could hand somebody a $1 bill and make them think it's a $100 bill. So he could do shit on that level. He could mildly push people. It's called pushing. Just control them a little bit here and there, right? And so they had him prisoner and they got him addicted on drugs, right? So then at one point, he looked in the mirror at himself. He was looking at his own eyes in the mirror, and he pushed himself. He pushed himself to get off the drugs, because he was addicted, right? And that was brilliant. It was a minor thing. Like there's a lot of other things that happen in the book, so this isn't like a massive spoiler. But I've always remember it was such a cool moment where basically you turn your power onto yourself. I don't know how it would work in this context. It looked like he was just going to choke himself. What does that do for you? I don't know. But I think he's somehow going to turn his power on himself. Okay, now he's in a cell. This is what I thought. This is where you get the upper hand. You weren't going to do it out there in front of everybody. Gotcha. That's what I thought in the first place, but then he started talking about I need to wake up from this dream. So what the hell did that mean, right? They're really liking their little title cards and to be continued and stuff. That's the same kind of screen where they said to be continued. They didn't say to be concluded, so I don't think we're done with this plot line just yet. Hey, one way to pass the time. So you're the one bringing me my shit, huh? Thanks for the roaches, but, no thanks. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. Not necessarily. Sometimes you're checkmated. Quit being a smug bitch. Thanks, man. magic, baby. Apparently not. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, it's kind of like bullshit, isn't it? He didn't care. You were you were the replacement. You were never his high priority. Exactly. That's all you gotta do, baby. Wake up. Yeah, ain't been talking to some bitch. Great. So, we're curious. How am I supposed to use the bathroom when I'm chained up like this? You implied I've been here for a really long time, so how's that working? Those flowers are everywhere. You think it's the flowers? He's using the flowers somehow? Would be the first time. Yeah. He's keeping his mind sharp. Why would you assume that? Because of how heavy it was? Probably. The flowers are there too. It's the flowers. She's already gone native. Look at her. She was going to break. She was always going to break first. Breathe in this flower pollen. Wouldn't be the first time. Like, pollen can be used as chemical signals and shit, right? Yeah. I'm too proud to serve you. That's for goddamn sure. Yeah. Maybe you're right. Yeah. They're in there. Oh, shit. I knew she folded like a cheap suitcase. I knew she would. Didn't see any flowers in the room there, though, so maybe it's just a visual motif. All right. Time for your once a day bathroom break. They probably did, actually. Stop by the bathroom on the way here. I'm not trying to obsess over it. It's just like he was in a real. They had him trussed up like a Thanksgiving turkey. Nice snake. What was your first two words? Forgive you. Nothing worse than a fallow ground. That's the trick bag. Well, I'm sure some do, actually. The system sucks. especially the child soldier aspect of it. He would get a lot of traction. Right. Yet, you either have order or chaos. All those nukes. I should have brought one. You don't have any intention. Be like, you have all the nukes. It's like, don't worry about nukes. I don't know what you're talking about. Never gonna happen, Smedley. He thinks he's dropping some science here, man. Well, don't really have a choice, do I? The snake's in control here. It's always snakes in this show. No good person ever has control of a snake or a snake companion or snake familiar or any of that shit. It's always the bad people. Like, for instance, when Sai wasn't evil, he wasn't using snakes, was he? I don't think. He was using tigers and birds. Here it is, the flowers. We're going to find out what this is about. Drugs? Yeah. So? Oh, shit. That blows. Be a bureaucrat. I've been saying that, man. Right. You're gonna find that out as soon as he can do this. Say my father. Mention my father one more time. So you read some of my tweets and you think that you know me, huh? Yeah. He's in your head, man. This ain't good. What's in those flowers? Can you grind them to a powder and the powder still works when it leaves the village? This is in his head. He's already been taken over. It's already over. Off with his head. Yeah, breathe in deeply all this flower pollen. That's what it is, man. The flowers only work here. Yep. Yeah. Well, you just turned them into powder, which you can breathe in. Yep. Nice. They're already taking over. That's right. Yeah, that's right. Evil as hell. Still says like, huh? Like, I'm gonna kick your ass. Burn it all. You gotta burn the whole crop. Like, you can, the pollen wouldn't wilt, so you could export the pollen, right? Like, I don't know how that works. I'm not really a botanist, but you could either grind it into a powder that you'd make people breathe, would maybe able to retain its quality, or the pollen. You can collect the pollen. The pollen doesn't wilt, as far as I know. Yeah. You just can't use the raw flowers outside of this area. So, let me have another flashback, just real quick. I remember this flashback. Here you go. Be bold. He's not going to abandon his friends. That's why I wouldn't leave. But you talking about leaving, the risk would increase. I don't believe that. If you leave and tell everybody, there's a good chance of dealing with the situation. But I can see not wanting to leave your friends. You know, your team. Not necessarily friends, but your team. I get not wanting to leave your team. Really. I like the smooth jazz elevator music. He's not worried about that. You really do understand this, dude. It's kind of impressive. Because it doesn't seem to have, like he has a mind reading power. Yeah. Really? I came back for you, dumbass. Can I just do one of the two? Yeah. Man, she is good. She's hot with that, man. She will shoot your ass. You better jump. Ah, shit. Huh. Huh. She's gonna shoot him in the face. I'll take a bullet for you. Yeah. She's gonna light your ass up. Man, how'd you miss? He was right in front of you. Earplugs? Just use earplugs. It's pretty obvious. I didn't think about it until the last second. Ah, shit. Boy, you just got wrecked. You didn't see that piece coming from the left side, did you? Yeah. It's such an obvious move to block your ears, I didn't even think of it. I just keep my deaf side to him. He's out of here. He's afraid. Nice try, but you dead as hell. Yeah. She will shoot your ass, man. Ha ha! Right in the face. No chakra for you. Ha ha ha! Wrecked. You could have went and got help. Now the whole world's gonna be taken over because you're arrogant ass. Huh. Incompetent. Nah, that sounds like too much hard work. Yeah, clearly. Why would he think he would? Now what? I didn't think a cavalry was coming. No shit. Is this real or is this in his head? I really didn't think the cavalry was coming. Yeah. Yeah, this is in his head, man. This ain't happening. I knew I was shipping them too. I knew the show was too. Is this really happening? These two have chemistry, man. If she's real, which I'm not sure I believe. No, just crush him. Yeah. Here's your magic flute since this isn't happening. Feels foolish to send him, just say it, if this is real. I guess it is. I don't know, man. Feels like it's like kind of out of nowhere. Hey, I got my lighter back. I don't have to chase him now. So one more episode, I guess. We're wrapping this up next episode. Rock and roll. They didn't do the to be continued this time. Interesting. A little out of nowhere. Probably would have been better off if we'd had a scene of those three confronting the Hokage and him be like, I'm not telling you anything. And then maybe you have Fangirl say something like, we'll see about that. And then you just cut away. So that kind of leaves it like ambiguous. You need a little bit of setup because that's why it felt so out of place. So out of nowhere. But again, if this is a light novel, I assume the light novel is just from his Shikamaru's point of view. So you wouldn't have that in a novel. It would be like this. It would feel like it's out of nowhere because you're not seeing what they're doing because you're in your own head, right? So that part makes sense. And if you want to keep to the spirit of that light novel, I mean, I'm trying to think if they cut away. They've cut away a little bit, like with the interrogation of Redhead and the interrogation of Sai in a previous episode. For the most part, we've stayed in his point of view, but they have cut away a little bit. So you could have done that in the show. And probably should have, but it still works either way. It's fine.